Hey guys, welcome to the Right Now podcast. I am Trace Locke. We got Caleb Miller here.
Howdy.
Chase Faulk, the father of our student ministry. And we're just going to have a little conversation today. We're going to talk. We're glad to have you here, Chase. Thanks for coming.
Glad to be on the podcast today in a little different setting.
Yeah, we're changing things up.
We're going to change things up throughout the summer. Is that correct, guys?
Yeah.
That is correct.
So you guys can expect a little bit of a different material from us. We'll have some fun plans, but I think we're really excited.
Special guest?
Special guests.
Special guests.
From all over the wiregrass.
All over the wiregrass.
Maybe beyond.
Yeah.
Probably not, but maybe.
Yeah, no, definitely not, but we're going to try.
Never say definitely.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Lord willing.
I mean, I think we can figure something out for somebody beyond the wiregrass. Yeah. It's the summer. Somebody's got to travel in.
That's true. That's true. Summer travel. So, yeah, we're just happy to have Chase here. We got a couple questions for you just about your ministry. We'll have some fun bits, but we just want to start with, when did you really realize that you wanted to be in the ministry, that you realized you wanted to be a minister?
So the summer of my freshman year of college, I was a college student at Wallace here in Dothan. I had graduated from Dothan High, went to Wallace.
Govs?
Yes, Govs.
Govs, not
Vols, Tennessee?
Govs.
No.
Yeah, we don't say
Wally
anything.
High.
Yeah, we don't support
Wally High.
Tennessee.
I hate
We don't
Tennessee.
say anything about Vols around here, but Govs, correct. And so summer of my freshman year, and I was told Lloyd at that time, Brother Lloyd was our youth pastor here, and I told him that I wanted to just help do things. So I was like, hey, whatever I can help, whatever I can serve, however I can be a part of what's going on in the student ministry, I'd love to do that. Well, he immediately put me in charge of a middle school boys. At that day, we called them block parties. Now we call them dive-ins. And so I was in charge of middle school boys and got to lead the Bible study there and throw little middle school boys around the pool kind of thing. Y'all know how that goes. And then was a chaperone for Wired. And so what that meant was I was an adult. I wasn't a track leader. I was an adult chaperone, which I went to a site every day and just assisted along with the track leader. And I think it was a Thursday night of that Wired week here at Ridgecrest, because we were meeting in the worship center at that time here. It was the Thursday night. The speaker did a special invitation about being called to ministry, and it was in that moment where I felt as if the Lord was tugging at my heart that was something that he was calling me to do. Didn't really know what that meant at that moment. Didn't know where, when, how, and all that kind of stuff. All I knew is that I remember running out of the worship center because Lee was there, and I told her, I said, hey, I really felt like God was speaking like to me and me alone in that moment of that invitation. And that began a conversation with her and a conversation with other people that God, through his word and through other people, confirmed that he was calling me to some sort of ministry position.
It's awesome.
Now,
Glad.
to follow up on that, did you always want to go into ministry? Is that something you always wanted to go to, or like what were your plans before you decided ministry?
No, that wasn't really even on the radar. Had no idea that was something that I would even step towards. To begin with, loved sports, really still loved the interaction with kids and things like that. So I was going to do some sort of education, teaching kind of thing, and coach is what I had kind of originally planned, and that's the direction I was going when I was taking classes at Wallace. And then when that happened, obviously it kind of changed the direction of education and different things.
That's pretty cool.
Talking about sports and your very famous softball career, maybe we got some sports trivia lined up for you.
Got some questions for you, Chase.
Trivia.
Test your knowledge.
Test your knowledge.
Test my knowledge
So
today.
we're going to start with something kind of easy. Who won the first Super Bowl?
How is that easy?
It's easy. I mean,
This is
everybody
common
knows
knowledge.
This is
For
common
sports
knowledge.
Common knowledge for sports fans. Well, here's the deal. Like, I am the worst person at trivia, period. All right?
Because what do you
Are you
always
smarter
say,
than a fifth grader, though?
Oh.
No, I'm not. Like,
You're not smarter than a fifth grader?
No, I'm
You
not
heard it here
smarter than a
first.
fifth grader. No.
Chase Faulk is not smarter
I
than
had
a
a
fifth
first
grader.
grader this year and was stumped all by first grade work. So I have no idea. Do I have multiple choice or anything, or is this just?
You know what, Chase? We'll be nice. We'll give you multiple
Well,
choice.
I don't know that that's going to help. But
So was it A, the Green Bay Packers? Was it B, the Kansas City Chiefs? Was it C, the Cleveland Browns? Or was it D, the New England Patriots?
man, I don't even know where to begin on this. I know that's horrible. So,
Shot in the dark. Lucky guess, maybe.
I'm just gonna go Green Bay.
Ding, ding, ding.
He's
Really?
correct.
All
He's
right,
correct.
The Green Bay Packers.
You win nothing.
Yeah,
You win nothing.
Yeah, we don't have prizes for you.
So I feel the love.
We're gonna go with a little bit of a harder question.
Step up.
Yeah. How many dimples does an average golf ball have?
All right.
We know Chase is very familiar with golf balls,
Yeah.
especially ones that are in the woods.
Arguably better than Auburn at golf. Arguably.
I think Auburn wishes he had a mic right now to defend himself on that one, because I could go ahead and tell you I am not better than Auburn at golf, or either probably the two of you at golf. 1,000. I'm going 1,000.
If you can shoot double digits, you're better than Trey's. So, I mean,
I don't think I can shoot double digits.
That's right.
that's there.
That's on the par.
He knows his
1,000.
Yeah.
Have you seen a golf ball before?
Yes, I've seen a golf ball.
Are you sure?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. That's 336.
336.
You were close. 1,000, 336. You're only
336,
670
Yeah, I
off.
mean,
You're almost there. So we're gonna end with
right rolls. He's way off.
Yeah, we're going to end with probably the toughest of the questions. I think it's still doable, but it's pretty tough.
Let's see what he has.
In the 1971 Olympics, Nadia Comaneci was the first gymnast to score a perfect score. What country was she representing? It's in Europe.
I'm not good with geography either, so
I'm going to
So
say something like Chad.
Europe's a continent.
yeah, I get
and
that.
there are
but
7
I'm
of
like,
those.
Yeah,
7.
I don't even know what countries are in Europe. Do you
Okay,
even
I'll
call
give you
countries?
multiple choice again.
Well, here we go. 4 countries in Europe.
Just 4 random countries.
Or is he smarter? than fifth
Is
grade?
he? Well, we'll find out. So A, Italy. That's in Europe.
Nadia? Yeah, I can see it.
B, Rome, Italy. That's a
That's
city.
a city.
All right, now
I'm not even
you're
good with
hating-
geography.
Now you're not smart.
I say Rome. No, I was going to say
B?
Versailles.
I can't even.
B,
Look at this. Y'all can't
England.
even do it.
Leave us alone. Leave us alone. B is England. C is Romania. And D is Ukraine.
I'm just gonna go with Italy, because after that, y'all just like totally tanked.
You know, we need to get a soundboard. Do like something like that. We need a soundboard.
Is he wrong?
Yeah. He's wrong.
Oh,
It
they're
was
wrong?
it was Romania.
Well, you kind of
C
misled him
is
because you said
Romania.
Italy twice.
I said Rome, Italy. I named a
Romania
city.
is in Europe.
Romania?
Yeah, Romania.
Fairly
is
sure.
in Europe.
Okay, I learned something.
You're
new
not
every
the
day.
geography whiz. Why are you questioning us?
Yeah,
We're the ones in the middle of our education.
I'm still going to school.
Yeah, well, here's the deal. I mean, y'all were struggling just a minute ago trying to figure
Hey,
it out.
I struggled. I'll be the
That's besides
the
the
first
point.
to admit.
I'll
I'll be
be
the
the
first
so-
to
Be
admit.
the
All
first
right.
one to admit I'm wrong.
So yeah, well,
So, yeah.
we figured out Chase can't
Chase is
Not
not
a
smarter than a
trivia
fifth
guy.
grader,
or
but
us.
he is fit enough to be our youth pastor, and we trust him in that
wholeheartedly.
so, wholeheartedly.
Right.
And speaking of such, as far as your ministry, we know how you got the call now. Just looking back on how long have you been in the ministry now? How many years?
So that would have been 2010. I would have that was probably the 2009 would have been like the call sometime around there, and I started interning probably about a year after that, so about 2010, and so sometime between 2010 to now, so 10 years or so, give or take, in some sort of capacity, whether that would be volunteering as an intern or being paid as an intern, to then being more so paid staff on a church staff.
So in those 10 years, what do you think has been just the best experience you've had, favorite memory, something you look back on and you remember just either growth, or you remember it fondly? What's one of just your favorite moments in those past 10 years?
So I immediately go back to when I was in Panama City. There was a time that when I was down there, we were trying to figure out how to do something similar to Wired in that context. And that week of the summer was one of the neatest just weeks, because it was so new and so different to that group of kids. And it was they really questioned it, really didn't, it was hard to get them excited about it because they never experienced it. And then when it happened, it was the Lord's hand was just in it, and kids were loving it and being a part of it. So I remember that being a big moment in different settings. And I've had the opportunity to see that in different places, because we were able to experience something like in Montgomery, And obviously being a part of Wired and being a part of things here, and like even the way we did Reach Dothan last year and the way we're going to do it this year, like all that setting of teenagers being at a place where they were able to really give of themselves and really put aside any kind of like any kind of just thoughts of what they want to do and how they want to do it. Really, they just show up and are ready to go, and a lot of times those kind of trips are really neat. Multiple mission trips stand out to me, being able to go to different places like that. And then like little just moments with kids, whether it's story time. Story time always a big deal. Bedtime stories at different events and camps and things. That one year when I think it was your senior year that we were in that room up there, and you guys had built like your bedroom basically, and like Coleman was like up on top of the table and like had the trees beside him, like
he had a little jungle. It was just insane.
So but telling that bedtime story, and then I think I finished that story on the bus the next day.
You did. And it was a wild ending. I remember
it was a wild ending. So moments like that. I'm trying to think of anything else that just stands out. Those are some of the most that stand
the Right Now podcast, obviously. This is just his favorite.
Well, I'm loving the fact that I'm just sitting here today. Like normally I'm leading the conversation, and today I'm just thankful to be.
Does that worry you at all that it is out of your hands now? And
no,
you have to trust me, Caleb.
That'd be terrifying.
I don't worry me at all because I know who handles the editing, and I can take out what we need to take out. Yeah.
That is fair. So a question all the people want to know: will Storytime with Chase be returning to the youth ministry this summer?
I mean, probably so. I mean, a little different context these days, but probably so.
Good.
To some sort of level.
Good. That's what we all wanted to hear. That's truly what we all wanted to hear.
We also, another burning question. This is all debate. Who would win in a fight? We got a church staff member versus a fictional character. We need your take.
Okay. Which staff member?
The man himself. Broxton Gannon.
Okay.
Arguably the most just happy-go-lucky staff member here.
Right.
Versus the man himself, Luke Skywalker from Star Wars. They both have lightsabers.
Okay.
Broxton can use the Force.
He can?
Yes.
Okay.
He can. Neutral side. Who wins?
Okay, so here's the deal. Here's how this is going to go down. So you got Luke and you got Broxton. Well, Broxton has spent his time on like this side of the Jedi temples, like reading every Jedi book there ever was to try to get to a place that he could fight against Luke. Now, everybody knows Luke just, from birth was the chosen one, and that was brought to, allow balance to come to the Force, in this moment with Darth Vader and realizing that he's his father and the light that he was able to stay focused on moving forward. And so, I mean, really, just a really tough opponent when you think about Luke. But then Broxton over here, in the middle of all his training days, reading and reading and reading, trying to do the best he can to be
tons
prepared.
Of training.
Tons of
Probably
training.
the most training in the church.
Every day, sitting there, training and training and training.
A lot of sitting.
So,
a lot of training.
A lot of training.
So all of that comes to a head where it is a duel and a battle for the ages.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Luke attacks first. Broxton's caught off guard a little bit, probably because he's still training.
Probably.
But he attacks first, and it is wild. Broxton takes the next couple blows, and you think that Broxton's got a leg up on Luke, but clearly at the end of the day, Luke takes home the victory.
He's just built different.
Force is strong there.
Did he not train enough?
Did he train too much?
Here's the deal.
That's
I think
true.
probably what's taking place is sometimes you get so focused in the training that you're not ready for the task that's at hand. And there's a time that training's just got to be done with, and you got to go after it.
We can apply that to scripture, if you're always just reading about the Bible, but you never act on it,
Don't be just doers. I mean, hearers of the word, be doers of the word. James
exactly.
says about that.
You're
we
right.
turned that around pretty nicely.
Good segue. Good segue.
We'll finish with this last question and going back to the scripture. What, in this Right Now podcast, what passage in scripture is just molding you and changing you the most in your life right now?
John chapter 13, context of the story of where Jesus washes the feet of the disciples. And the example that is seen by Jesus through those stories, the example of humility, the example of sacrifice, the example of just service in general. And then one of the moments that's been so interesting to me is Peter asked the question, when Jesus comes to wash his feet, Peter says, "Why are you washing my feet?" Basically, I should be washing your feet.
Yeah.
Well, and I think about that, and I think about it like this. If Peter would have followed through with his question, he would have missed what Jesus would have done in that moment. And I think a lot of times I find myself in life and in ministry and just everyday everything, questioning God in some ways that I then should think, in my midst of my questioning, how am I missing possibly the things that God is trying to do in my life and possibly through our ministries and the ministry of my family and things like that. And so seeing the example of Jesus, being the example that Jesus left us to be, and walking as a person of humility and sacrifice and service. So John 13 has stood out greatly in the last probably month.
That's awesome. Well, you heard it here. John 13. Go and read it. Chase obviously has gotten a lot from it, and I'm sure we should get a lot from it too. So we thank you for watching and listening, and we're just so glad to have Chase here. Chase, you're very famous for your announcements. What are we looking forward to this summer? You know, any big announcements for us today?
For this summer? Or
just like what's coming up soon.
Oh, well, I mean, we all got to be ready for, we got One Family Worship. That's probably going to be happening this week. But then past that, we got Sweet Spots. I mean, we had our first one this past week, epic. Day one of that. We got a lot under our sleeve for Sweet Spots in our student ministry. So I'm looking forward to that. We got dive-in starting.
Oh, yeah.
The June 13th, I think, is the date. So looking forward to some dive-ins. What's the name of that game we play at dive-ins with a ball and somebody on the sides of the... Oh, we have a name for that?
Water
polo.
Water polo.
Throw the ball and let everyone kill each other?
Yeah, pretty much. That's like... It's not kill the man with the... Well, I guess it is kill the man with the ball. That's
pretty much.
So got dive-ins happening. Let's see. Anything else that I'm missing?
I feel like there's one big thing going on. Like a whole...
It's like a week long,
maybe
event?
so.
Reach Dothan?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Camp.
Camp. Yeah.
All that stuff's happening too. So looking forward to it. It's going to be a
up.
great summer with these guys around and the new direction of the podcast as well. I'm looking forward to that.
We're very excited for this.
Y'all have a guest lined up for next week? Do we need to
get a
surprise
guest?
Surprise.
Look for hints on the Ridgecrest students' social media page.
Do you even know how to do social media, Trace?
No, but I'll make someone else do it.
Do you have that kind of power here?
I'll get it.
No.
I think you'll have to ask nicely for the guy who does the social media.
I might humble myself.
Maybe we could get some training days for Trace on social media.
True.
I'm sure Broxton can help me out there. Well, this has been the Right Now podcast. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next week.